Hi, good evening. Welcome to Vibin with Ashley Live. I'm your host, Ashley Live. Thank you guys for joining the room. Tonight we have an incredible show. Singer, songwriter, producer, A Natural will be joining us. And really excited to bring him in the room. He has some big announcements for us. And excited to have you guys all with us tonight. Hi, Justin. How are you doing this evening? So I start each show with a song lyric, and this song lyric tonight will actually be from one of A Natural's songs. At a time that's so unsure, can we be authentic to who we are? Can we love each more, or will differences become a war scar? And that's from A Natural's song, A Story of Freedom. That's from his most recent album, KWAMÉ, which came out in October. So 2021. And like I said, A Natural has a lot of great announcements for us tonight, and really excited to bring him in the room and have a great conversation, as well as share some beautiful music with you guys. So we're going to hang tight for him to come in the room. And hey guys, thank you for joining. Good evening. Hi guys. Hi Sosi, Hassan. Thank you. So we are going to hang tight and wait for A Natural to pop in the room. He told me right before we were about to start this chat, there he is right there, to hang tight because he's bringing all of his listeners and all of his fans over into the chat. So yes, I see you, A Natural, and we are going to get this show on the road. Hey guys, hello. A Natural, yes, you have some fans in the house. A Natural. Singer, songwriter, producer. I mean, if you haven't already, please check out A Natural's music on all streaming platforms. His music is incredible. It's heartfelt. It's passionate. You can feel his lyrics when he's singing. And he just pinned his website. So I'm going to pin it in the room. And then whenever you're ready, A Natural, we are going to invite you in the room. There he is. Hello, good
Hello.
evening.
What's going on?
How you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. So I was just introducing you to the room. Singer, songwriter, producer, extraordinaire. Do all these amazing things, A Natural.
I do a lot.
Been keeping busy during this quarantine.
Yes, very busy.
Yes. So we're going to get into all of that. But one of the most recent things that I want to talk to you about is in December, you announced that you were retiring. So can you elaborate on that a little bit more? And is it true? Are you retiring?
So I will say that I am retiring from a certain aspect of my career,
Okay.
which is putting out full-fledged albums. Um, if anybody's been following me, they know that last year I put out 3 projects, which is way more than I ever expected to do for myself. Um, and not to say that it was easy, but it was just it was very quick, and it was a lot of work that went into putting all these projects out. So um, I'm gonna take a break and do some other things. I have some other things planned that we'll talk about, but I am definitely taking a step back from wearing the artist hat. Um, you might get a song here and there from me, and there's definitely plenty of music that's out already to listen to for those who don't know who I am. So while I'm taking my break, here's a perfect time to get familiar.
Yes, getting familiar. So
Yeah.
do you want to talk and elaborate a little bit more about these other projects that you're going to go into?
Sure. So the first thing that I am super happy about, super happy, I sound kind of crazy. Um, the first thing I'm really, really excited about is I am once again expanding my record label that I have, Natural City Music.
Yay.
So last year I signed a brand new artist, and I can actually say her name now because we figured everything out as far as how we're gonna like put everything out there. but her
Yeah.
name is Lauren Ashley. She's a really good friend of mine that I've actually done a lot of work with in the past. And she is now the newest face at Natural City Music. So I cannot wait for you guys to hear her. She's an amazing vocalist, songwriter. She's also beautiful. um, and she's beautiful inside and out. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so excited to work with her. She's been working at this for a very long time. And we decided it's time for us to do this together and to really put her sound out there. And I cannot wait till you guys hear her. So that's number one.
Uh-huh.
Number two, because of the way that I see this music industry and the way that I've kind of felt about my own career path, I've always wanted to do something else that elevates the platform for other artists. So outside of signing artists, I still wanted to somehow be some sort of a catalyst to make sure that other independent artists can get their shine too.
Right.
Last year, I was featured with a platform called Huddle Music, and it is a Black-owned social networking and music distribution company that has an app online that you can share your music and network with other artists and things of that nature. And I'm partnering with them now to showcase other artists.
Amazing.
I won't say exactly what I'm doing just yet. We'll make an official announcement probably next month. But I'm super excited to be a part of this company because their vision is to literally uplift and showcase independent artists in a way that none of the other platforms do. Usually artists can just put their stuff up on TuneCore and, get it on iTunes or whatever, and that's where it stops. But with Huddle, we're making it a point to make sure that you get visibility and that you get the shine that you deserve as an independent artist. So I'm super excited for that.
Yay, that's so exciting because I feel like there's so many great artists out there that really deserve that platform. Like you said,
Yes.
they deserve that spotlight, and I'm so excited to see what's going on in this official
Yes.
announcement coming up.
Yes, so that's the second thing. And then the third thing is another part of this whole building the platform for other artists. Because I've been doing this for such a long time, and even though a lot of people don't know me, they might not have heard my music or they might not have seen me perform or whatever, there's still been a lot of work that I've done behind the scenes and a lot of experience and knowledge that I've been able to gain by being behind the scenes. And so a dream of mine that I've had for several years is finally coming to fruition. And starting in March, I will be launching my official music consultation business. Um,
Yay!
and
Awesome!
it's going to be called Building the Dream. And I'll have a lot more details very soon about how people can sign up and take classes. But you're going to be able to get one-on-one consultations with me so that I can help you as best as I can with your journey in music. So this is what I've been doing. This is why I said I retired, because it's going to be a lot of work. And I can't be an artist and then be all these other things at the same time. So I really wanted to devote myself to really pushing other artists forward. So I cannot wait to see what this year has for me.
That's amazing. I mean, I think it's so cool that you want to help people. You're consulting and you're going to be behind the scenes. You're going to be pushing your new artist and the label. And it's just that one announcement after another after another. So I love that. And thank you for announcing all that on my show, because I know in December, a lot of your fans were like, well, what's happening? What does he mean by retiring?
They were mad. and I got cursed out by a few friends. And you know what? And I actually had to even take a step back myself, because right around the same time, I think it might have even been the same week that I made the announcement, that's when Tiana Taylor made her announcement about how she was feeling about, how the industry kind of like forgot about her when she had put all this work in and even saved them so much money. She just felt like she was being overlooked. And to a certain extent, I kind of felt the same way, not in the same frame of, a label forgetting about me, but just, I've been doing this for a very long time. And I think the way that the industry has gone, especially with social media being a really bad catalyst, it can kind of put a bad taste in your mouth for your own journey. And I feel like at this point, instead of me complaining about what I feel I've missed out on, let me go ahead and contribute to other people's careers so that I'm not missing anything. I'm actually fulfilling that need and giving it to someone else. So to anyone who was mad about me saying I retired last year, don't worry, I'm still around.
He's still here, just in a different format. And I love that the consulting thing has been a dream of yours, because I think sometimes we're on this path, right? And then maybe you're doing something for a couple of years. You're like, okay, well, I'm kind of doing the same thing every day. Like, I just need I just need something else. Like I
Yeah,
need branch in another direction. And I'm so happy that you leaned into that and you're pursuing that because that's so important. You really need to do what you're passionate about because sometimes when we do the same thing over and over again, it's like, okay, I'm an artist, 3 albums, like what else can I do?
exactly.
Work, right?
Yeah. And I mean, and also, you know, I had to redefine my definition of success. I
Yeah,
talked about this a little bit when I made the announcement. You know, we think that success as an artist equals 1 million fans and 1 million records sold and touring the world. And that might be success for some people. But for me, it wasn't that. For me, success was knowing that I could complete something that I started and that
yeah,
I could put my all into it and have it look amazing, have it look like it was on a major scale,
right.
and you know, knowing that I saw it from the start to the finish, and I'm good.
Yes,
I'm really
yes.
good with
That's
it.
different things to different people. So some people might say, "Oh, success is $1 million. Oh, success is 5 records. Success is, an MTV Video Music Award or whatever it is." But success is different, and you need to lean into that and then just say, "Hey, this is what success means to me," and then just keep reading
Exactly.
it because in 6 months it might be something totally different.
Exactly. Because
Mhm.
we saw a lot of drama go down with the Grammys this past
Yeah,
year with the
yeah,
nominations, and even with me being on the voting board, I was very disappointed in how they went about the nominations. And I'm like, no one should have to deal with this. And I know that we're groomed as little kids to always want the Grammy,
yeah,
but the Grammy is not the end all of your career, you
yeah,
know. And I think that once more people know this and they can have realistic goals and then surpass those realistic goals,
yeah.
they'll be much happier. I saw someone on Twitter say, if the dream was to have a nice house and a car and be able to have groceries and pay your rent, doing music, is that enough? And I'm like, yes, that's
Yes,
more than enough.
exactly. You
So,
can put it on your table and you have a car and a house. Like you're doing better than most people.
exactly. So
Hmm.
that's the energy that I'm on right now. And I just, I'm not telling anybody else what they have to do. I just know what's worked for me to get me to a certain level. And if I can pass that on to the next person, then that's what I'm here to do.
Yes, that's amazing. Yes, so excited for you. So in December, you were also in a songwriting competition. So tell us a little
Yes.
bit more about that.
So, if you are an artist that writes your own songs and you are not with a publishing company like ASCAP or BMI, please get signed up. That's number one. Um, I'm with ASCAP. I've been with them since actually like maybe like right out of high school.
Hmm.
Um, but I didn't really know about a lot of what they had to offer until more recently. And I didn't know that they had an urban division as well for ASCAP. And so I got more information. I connected with some people there. I found out about a workshop that they do every year and didn't realize that it was a contest. So, and this was their first year doing it virtually because, of course, with COVID.
Right.
So they had people, songwriters from all around the country, team up into 3 teams to create a song from scratch. And whoever had the best song would win the competition. And our team got second place, which was amazing.
So
So
awesome.
thank
So
you.
is this song ever going to be released or was it just for that competition?
I don't know. And I know we talked about it, and I'm probably going to have to hit up the team again just to see. I may put
Right.
it up on my SoundCloud or on my website, just for people to hear it.
Yeah.
Because again, it's a collective thing. So it's 2 songwriters and 1 producer for each
Mhm.
team. So we all have to kind of agree of how we're going to put it out.
Yeah.
Um, I just know that I had a great time working with them. These were
Mhm.
people that I'd never met before, and we just clicked, and it became this great song. Um, and then for my team, I won top songwriter, so that was cool.
Yes, top songwriter. Give it. I'm
Yeah,
a natural top
thank you.
songwriter.
Yes. And see,
Yes.
this is what I mean about success, because stuff like that, to me, it's amazing because I don't usually win things. So winning something like this is crazy to me. So, that is a great thing that I can look back on and say, wow, I did that, you know?
Amazing. So cool. I love it.
Thank you.
So both of your parents are musicians and you grew up on the road in the studio and you wrote your first song at 5.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about growing up in a musical household.
Wow. So my parents, they met in church,
Mhm.
and they were part of a band, like a small gospel band. My father at the time played drums and bass, and my mom was the lead singer.
Mhm.
And I guess that's really just where it came from. Like it just made sense. And then I got those genes, and here I am. But yeah, I wrote my first song when I was 5 years old. My father was playing the guitar, and I just had these lyrics. Uh, so they're kind of embarrassing, but it was "Jesus Loves the Clown in Me" was the
Oh,
name of the song. And it was the cutest little thing, but it made no sense whatsoever. But it was my first song. I was very proud of myself. Um, and from then, I just kept doing it. You know, my mom was always encouraging me while she was working on her projects. You know, I was always in the studio listening and figuring things out and learning. And my father was her producer, so I learned the production side of it from him as well. So
hmm
it's almost like I had no choice but to get into music because of how I grew up.
yeah. It was just in your life and you were constantly surrounded by it. And like your parents were your mentors. It's just like so cool that it was
Yeah,
part of your life.
definitely. I mean, I know that at one point my father was a little apprehensive. He didn't really want me to get into the business because he knew how crazy it might be and how cutthroat it could be.
Right.
But, you know, once I got older and I started
hmm
to really like learn about some things and had some of my own, failures and some of my own disappointments, you know, they both got behind me and said, you know, you know what you're doing. You got this. So, yeah.
And if you started writing your first song at 5 and all these past since, like in order for someone to write, in order for someone to win top songwriter, you need to start at 5 and just every single day, like just keep doing
Yeah.
it.
I mean, and that's what the life was for a very long period of time. Like, I mean, I was in another company several years back, and that's all I did was produce and write songs every single day in the studio. Sometimes 3, 4 songs a day, working
hmm
with tons of different artists. So my pen literally like grew muscles on its own just from being in the studio so much.
Yes, practice makes perfect. So
Yeah,
if you're bumping out 3, 4 songs a day, that's a
yeah,
lot of hours in the studio.
yeah. That's how you can do 3 projects in a year
Exactly.
that you had no intention of doing.
But then COVID hit, and it's like we had all this time on our hands. We couldn't really see people, and we couldn't do shows, right?
Exactly.
Kind of like now we're just in our houses trying to make the best situation.
Exactly.
hmm
It's been tough. The music has definitely helped.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only gone to pretty much 4 places this whole entire COVID era, which is my mom's house, my best friend's house, or my other best friend's house to see my nephew. That's it. And then I come home.
Yeah.
And I'm still working a day job, so I still work from home too. So it's kind of been a little confining, but
Yeah.
I'm making the best of it by keeping creative and keeping busy, especially with these new ventures.
hmm
Now I'm really excited to be home.
I know, because now it's like now you have all these other projects that are going to be happening, and you're like, okay, cool. Like, and definitely when you have a day job and then you do something creative outside of that, whether it's blogging, writing music, playing an instrument, it just kind of brings light into your life because
Yeah,
you just go to your day job and then you're like, okay, I'm done. Like
right.
that's normal for some people, but like you need to have that creative outlet.
There's balance there.
Yeah,
There's a good balance because I know I got to still pay my bills.
exactly.
My rent is due this weekend, so thank
Yeah.
God for that. But it's also been crazy because there was a time where I did not have a job. I didn't have any income. I was virtually homeless, and I didn't know what was going to happen. And it's
Yeah.
funny that at the same time I was still trying to do music and make that the full time, but there was no money coming in.
hmm
As soon as I got a job, everything took off. Like I
And
was
you're
able
like,
to
what?
fund. Yeah, like I'm like, okay, so all I had to do is get a job and I can fund my music career. Like this
Yeah.
is amazing. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of musicians that have day jobs and they're like, I don't really like love my day job, but the fact that, my music hasn't taken off yet, like you kind of have to just you have to do both.
yeah, it's a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice that you have to make. But if you really, really want it, then you'll do it. Yeah.
I found a really amazing quote from you. Being vulnerable is the most effective way to share your artistry. How would you describe the music that you create?
I would say I try to tell the truth as much as I can.
hmm
I know that because of the type of music that we are, fed every day, it's easy to believe a lot of the falsities in what we sing and what we write,
Right.
because we know what plays and what sells and what attracts fans. But I also know that there are certain times where we have to be very responsible with what we say.
Mm-hmm.
For example, my project, The Ascension of A Natural. That project I feel was an amazing project. I love that project from start to finish. It's my most ambitious project, but I specifically wrote it for the purpose of grabbing, the commercial listeners, the
Mm-hmm.
ones that, follow the trends and things of that nature. I wanted it to be trendy. I wanted it to be catchy. I wanted it to feel like this is something that you can hear on the radio at any time.
Right.
But with KWAMÉ, the album that I put out in October, I just knew that I had a responsibility to tell the truth, whether it was about me and my experiences or just what I believed. And I have to say that it was the most cathartic experience writing that album because I wasn't afraid of telling
Yeah.
my truth, you
Right.
know. And it was definitely a little scary because I had never told so many stories before,
Mm-hmm.
but I also feel like they were necessary because I knew there were too many people that felt the way that I did or had gone through the things that I've done, and they needed to hear these stories and needed to see that someone went through this and came out on the other side okay. So I think being honest is very beneficial. Of course, when it's needed.
Yeah, I think it's so important to live and walk in your truth because when you're truthful and you're honest with yourself,
Mm-hmm.
it just that it opens up a whole new world of things, especially in music. And I think when someone's honest with you musically and they're vulnerable and they're passionate, you can just tell.
Yeah.
And that's what's amazing about your songwriting. And you can tell, like, it's truth. Like, he was hurting, like, he was going through this. I went through something similar. And I think that's so important. So, yes,
Yes.
that's why you're winning awards because you're an incredible songwriter.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I mean, and I have a lot of help. Like, I've learned a lot along the way. And I think working with so many different artists and writers and producers has made me a better writer and producer. So
Sure.
I'm sitting on the shoulders of some really, really great people.
Yeah. And I think it's so important to like learn from other people. So in your songwriting competition in December, you were paired with two people you didn't know, right?
Right.
How were you paired with them? Just randomly?
So we submitted everything, they put the email out and we just submitted everything in, and then they randomly picked who would be on whose team. Each
Mm-hmm.
team had a mentor who was another songwriter in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
We had Andrea Martin, who's written for Leona Lewis, tons of different people.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Roberson, who's written for Jill Scott and a ton of other different people. And then on my team, we had um, oh my God, Ardent. I forget his last name. It just escapes me. I should know this. But Team Ardent. That's what we called ourselves, Team Ardent. He's worked with Wyclef Jean, Alicia Keys, John Legend, a whole bunch of different people. And he
Mm-hmm.
actually was last year's winner.
Amazing.
So they randomly put us together, and I got paired with a female artist named Ty. She is from Brooklyn, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And
Mm-hmm.
then another female producer, um, um, whose also name escapes me. It's been a minute, and I should know this. I'm just blanking out right now, but she's super young, and
Mm-hmm.
she's amazing when it comes to production. Like you would think that she honestly, her production sounds like a 50-year-old man did it because it's
Really?
very old school, but still very new school at the same time. It's got like the trap, sensibilities, but very old school sounding, like something that Rick Ross would rap over. And she's
Oh,
only like 17, 18. So
yes.
to be paired with these types of talent that I've never been introduced, to before, and then also having the disadvantage of having to work virtually. So
Mm.
Zoom calls and emails and sending session files back and forth. It's very different, but it was so much fun because I got to really experiment and try different things with different people. So yeah, that was great.
Very cool. So was that something that you can sign up for every year?
Yeah, when they put the email out, um, I don't know if repeat winners or repeat contestants can submit again, but as long as you are with ASCAP and you are signed up on their email list for the ASCAP Urban or anything that has to do with your own publisher,
Mm-hmm.
make sure you contact them, find out what information they offer, what opportunities they offer, because it's more than just them giving you your royalties for your songs. There's a
Yeah.
lot of opportunities to have your music heard by people in the industry that normally you would never get your music heard by.
Mm.
Um, and it was, like I said, it was a great experience because these are industry people that were mentoring us, but then
Yeah.
also we got to pick their brain and see, okay, does this note work? Does this song lyric work? Is this beat okay? And then they just let us do what we do. You know, they guided us on our way, and then that was it. But it was definitely an amazing experience that I recommend to anybody.
Awesome. So if there's any musicians here in this chat listening to this,
Yes,
please submit. Like, make sure you're with ASCAP or BMI, and when this songwriting competition comes up, submit your stuff, because this sounds like such an
definitely.
opportunity to collab with people that you would probably never know or even come across.
Exactly. And everybody wins because all three teams got a cash prize. So you
Cool.
can't lose, basically.
You can't lose, and you win money. So like, what's
Exactly.
that?
Yeah. That was definitely a good part of it.
Yes. So who else would you like to collaborate with?
Um, I've said this in the past, and I think I might change my answer now. um, my answer used to be Omarion, but
Yeah.
I think Omarion is now in a different wavelength where he's maybe not trying to be a singer, but
Mm-hmm.
he is trying to solidify himself back in the industry as a contender. So
Yeah.
his music has kind of shifted a little bit outside of what I normally do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I still love him as an artist. I think he's amazing. But I think right now, Jasmine Sullivan is killing
Yeah.
everything.
Oh,
And I think I don't even have to necessarily write for her. I just want to be in the studio.
mm-hmm.
I just want to be there to hear what she does and hear how she comes up with stuff. That would be a dream for me.
And watch all that magic go down.
Exactly. And I have a
Well,
connection to her. I do have a connection to her because one of my friends, Natalie Imani, is one of her background singers,
yeah.
and they're both from Philly. And Natalie and I have done a ton of work together. So I'll hit Natalie with a text and see if she can make that happen.
Hey, I'm telling you, you should definitely shoot your shot. Reason being is because I had somebody on here a couple episodes ago, and she was like, "Oh, I wrote this really cool song, and I wanted this specific artist on it." And she goes, "So I just kind of took a shot out of the dark and reached out to his management team, and they were like, 'Yeah, he wants to be in the song.'" And she's like,
Wow.
I'm speechless. And so she released this song with this artist, and I was like, so now when people say to me, "Oh, I want to work with this person or that person," shoot your shot. Like, what do you have to lose?
Exactly. Yeah,
And you
I'm,
are,
I'm gonna do that.
so it's not like you're just randomly reaching out. It's kind of like, "Oh, my girl knows you," and
Gotta do it delicately, but I'll do it
delicately.
delicately. Yes. So I definitely think that this would be something that I'll look forward to. Maybe not this year, but I definitely see it in the future. She's busy.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What musicians do you admire?
Oh wow. You want names?
Names or,
Okay.
yeah.
The reason why is because I have my go-tos, but I think it's so hard to just pick a few. Um, I like musicians that love music. I like artists who respect the skill, but
Mm-hmm.
also are not afraid to take chances. So like my tastes range all over the place because I love Beyonce, but I also love Alanis Morissette. I
Yeah.
love Usher, but I also love B. Slade. I love Janet Jackson, but I also love System of a Down. So like
Yeah.
I love the gambit of music, but I really think that any artist who respects the skill of music, that's who
Mm-hmm.
I would love to admire or work with. Like right now, Jacob Collier, I think is a genius, and I think he deserves everything he's getting right now. He's an amazing artist. He respects it. He's not even the greatest singer in the entire world, but he knows how to do things with his music and his voice that just give you a full experience, and I love that.
Yeah, he's absolutely legendary.
Yes.
What are a few of your favorite songs to perform?
Um, One of my favorite songs to perform is a song called "Better."
Mm-hmm.
That was on my EP called COAOAFB2, which
Mm-hmm.
stands for the Chronicles of an Overambitious Fat Boy, which is an EP that kind of, well, it was an album that I put out, an EP that was a companion piece to the album.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Better was a song that was on the EP that pretty much just talks about, everything being in God's timing and not trying to force things to happen. And for me, it was more so just about my career and thinking that I was being overlooked and that it was never going to happen for me. And then once I wasn't looking for it, then things started to happen. So just to kind of calm down and be patient. Someone else's song that I love singing would be No Ordinary Love from Sade. I just love that song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Someone said, please do a Janet Jackson song, maybe Rhythm Nation.
Whoa.
I know, that is a
If I had to
song.
do a Janet, if I had to do a Janet song, it would probably be Anytime. Anytime, Any Place. Either that song or another Time song, Every Time, which is from The Velvet Rope, which is my favorite Janet Jackson album.
Ah, The Velvet
Yeah.
Rope. Yes, when I think of Janet Jackson albums, like, obviously there's a lot, but
Yeah.
The Velvet Rope, oh, amazing. Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. It's like the visuals with some of those videos, because remember when videos used to be amazing, especially Michael Jackson and Janet Jackson videos, and it was like,
Yes.
I know the song Smooth Criminal, but I also see him dancing in his white suit. Like, I
Exactly.
know Rhythm Nation, but I also see her, you know, with all the choreography. Because you cannot listen to Rhythm Nation without seeing that visual in your head.
Exactly. That's when
Right.
we used to like stay up for the video.
Oh,
Like it was
yes.
an event. It was like the whole family would come around the TV.
Yes.
And like I remember like when Scream came out, that was a monumentous moment in my family's life. Like we stopped everything for Scream because it was Janet and Michael together. Like you would never see that. So
oh my gosh, that song Scream. Like I know a lot of people don't know that song, but Scream by Michael Jackson and Janet Jackson, the video, like the pleather pants and like the little crop tops, them
the
dancing.
spaceship, like
Yes.
even the little bouncy things, like the little toy bouncy things that were in the video, like everything about that video, and it was in black and white. Whoever did a futuristic video in black and white? That's crazy to me.
Oh, I love that song. That song is so Janet and Michael together. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Colette said, "I need to see you dance to the Rhythm Nation." I am not a dancer. I'll let you know right now. I have a mean two-step, and that's about it.
Yeah, it was a Rhythm Nation. That's a hard dance. That is a very difficult dance. Janet knows her choreography.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you also had the opportunity to open for T-Pain. What are some of your favorite venues to perform at?
That was the biggest venue that I've ever performed at. I still can't believe that I did that. I mean, thousands of people there.
What venue?
This was a festival in Connecticut. It was a music festival. It was the last day of the festival. And I got the gig by chance. My manager at the time submitted my music to the organizers, and they said, yeah, let's get them to do it. And I brought my band out there, and we killed. And that was probably my favorite time performing like on a big stage like that.
Right.
But my favorite venue, this is sad because, you know, everything's closed down because of, you know, Corona. In New York, there's a place called Rose Hill Open Mic. They started off at a hotel lounge on 32nd Street, I think it was. And they moved to another hotel closer to like 42nd Street. But the atmosphere of this open mic was so amazing. There was no pretense. Nobody was trying to out-sing each other. Every single Monday night, we just came there to have a great time and sing. It was hosted by the legendary Melanie Daniels, who used to sing background for Mariah Carey and Michael Jackson, and then also by a good college friend of mine, Melody Ray. They both co-hosted it, and they just made it the best time ever. And they actually stopped right before Corona happened because they had to move to another venue. Then Corona happened, and it never came back, and I'm sad.
Well, hopefully things will come back. Hopefully this year, and it will resume, and live music will come back because oh my gosh, as a music fan, I miss it so much.
And oh my God.
That I miss so much too. So I music fans miss it, but I know performers miss it as well because the energy that you guys get from the crowd and like meeting people afterwards and just performing and sharing your gift and having people sing along. It's a whole thing, and it's
such an energy.
You know?
Yeah, it's such an energy. You know, I miss singing with a live band. I know I did a show over the summer in my mom's backyard for KWAMÉ. I did like a nice little acoustic show, and that was great. but it still didn't compare. I need the drums, I need the bass, I need all of that just to feel that energy. And in that room, because it was such a small space at Rose Hill, like it would be packed, like at least 100 to 150 people in this one room, and it'd be hot and sweaty, but they just wanted to hear this great music and have a good time. And I miss that. So hopefully
Yeah.
we can get it back. Yeah.
I said to someone the other day, I just want to be in a crowded bar listening to music and I want someone to spill a beer down my leg. I just like, I miss that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't
Yeah.
want wet hands, but I just need to like, I just kind of want to be in the room with other people because I feel so alone.
Yeah. Yeah. We need it back. We need it back. I mean, because that'll change your whole day.
Exactly.
It'll change your whole week, really. You have a
Yeah.
good time at an open mic or at a live music venue, and you get to just be free for a second. And it's like, oh my God, I needed this.
Yeah.
And that's why we really need outside to open back up. So everybody wear your mask.
I know, right?
Yeah.
We need music venues to open up. So please, guys, just wear your mask. Just do the
Okay.
right thing so we don't have to keep
Yes.
going through this crazy, crazy, crazy situation.
Yeah.
So, do you prefer to work on your solo stuff or with other artists?
They go neck and neck, but I think because of the switch that I'm making right now,
Yeah.
yeah, it's other artists.
Mm-hmm.
Working with Lauren Ashley has been Lauren Ashley and Ashley Live. Amen. Okay.
Yes. So Ashley's.
Yeah, it's two Ashleys. But no, working with her has been like it's been amazing because it's so natural.
Yeah.
And when we get together, and it's funny that we even get any work done because we spend most of the time laughing. That's the funniest part about it. And I think you know what, working with other artists gives me that option because when I'm by myself, it's just me.
Right.
So I'm actually more critical on myself when I'm working. But when
Mm-hmm.
I'm with someone else and we're feeding off each other's energy, and she's got a vision and I have a vision, and then the visions align, it just makes it so easy. So I
Yeah.
love doing that.
Yeah. I think collaboration is so important because, like you said, if you're working by yourself, it's just you, but
Yeah,
then you have somebody to bounce those ideas off of.
exactly.
Yeah. That's so cool. So, when will she be releasing music?
So we are looking for a spring summer situation.
Mm-hmm.
We're starting off with an EP, but we may be dropping a single or something like that pretty soon. I won't say too much about it, but we have a lot of great music. And I mean, if you want to hear some vocals, but if you also want to vibe and you also want to bop and you also want to like feel good about yourself as a woman, this is the project, this is the artist, and I'm honored to work with her because it's going to be really dope. It's going to be
Oh,
amazing.
excited to hear her because I'm always
Yes.
looking for a new artist. That's how the show developed. And oh, I cannot wait to check her out.
We're going to set up an interview so the two Ashleys can meet.
Yes, two Ashleys. Yes.
Yes. That's going to be fun.
So cool. What song do you wish you wrote and why?
Um, Second Thought by Brandy, which
Mm-hmm.
is an unreleased song. And the reason why it's fresh in my brain is because she just put up a tweet asking people what is their favorite unreleased song from the vault. And I'm like, why would you ask that question? The whole crew of your fans knows every single one of your unreleased songs.
Yeah.
But Second Thought is just, I just love that song.
Oh,
It's a little bit of gospel, but she does her good singing. I love that song. It's really, really amazing.
Patty is one of those artists. She has had such an incredible career. Like when she first came out and she was so young, and then you think about all these amazing albums she's put out over
Yeah.
over.
She's the vocal Bible.
Yeah.
She's pretty much taught everybody what we know.
Hmm. Now, did you see her when she was on Star, the TV show?
I didn't watch it.
You did.
I did not watch it.
Why not?
For some reason, I just wasn't a fan of the show,
Hmm.
and I wasn't a fan of Empire, and I just kind of didn't really tune in. I mean, I don't know. I
I
did catch the clips of when she would sing on the show, so
yes.
that part I was able to see. But
Yeah.
as far as the show itself, I could take it or leave it.
She was an incredible character on that show, though. She
Yeah.
was crazy, and then she
Okay.
would do singing. So acting skills, yes, Brandy is amazing.
Yes. Yeah, I'll give her that. She definitely knows what she's doing acting wise. I think I didn't really tune in because I was so looking forward to another album from her because it had
Yep.
been so long. And I'm
Mhm.
like, all right, I get it. Get your check, do your thing, but we need the music.
I love
Yeah.
it. What's the best advice you've ever been given?
The best advice that I've ever been given comes from Sean Stockman from Boys to Men.
Mm-hmm.
I was down in Atlanta and I was working with an artist named Whitney Rain,
Mm-hmm.
and she brought him cookies because in a previous meeting she had cookies or whatever, and he tried one of them that she had made, or was it cookies? Yeah, it was cookies and a smoothie from her job, and
I know.
he was like, I need those cookies. Those are great. And so when we had our session, she had brought him the cookies and a smoothie from her job, and he said, "This is why I'm working with you." And he said, it doesn't matter how talented you are. It doesn't matter how great you are. It's about whether or not people like you.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, if you are a likable person and you can be teachable and you can be humble and just connect with people and your energy is right, you will have a long lasting career.
Yeah.
So I've tried my best to be that way, you
Yeah.
know, just to make sure that whoever does come around me, like the music is great, but if you don't get a good vibe from me, then the
Mm-hmm.
music's going to suffer. And I want to make sure that the music always wins.
Yeah.
So in order to do that, I've got to have the right energy going in.
I,
So
I think that's so important because your energy speaks before you even open your mouth.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes you can feel it. And I've been in the studio with people, and when they walk in the door, I'm like, okay, I know how this session's going to go. I'm not
You're
going to say
like,
that much.
heck.
Yeah.
You're like, what? I
And these will
actually,
be people that are like, big people in the
yeah.
industry. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, no.
Yeah. Cause you're like, if the energy's not there, like you have to have a way about you. I actually
Exactly.
heard Swiss Beats talk. He was in conversation doing a mental health conversation, and
Mm,
he was saying how when he walks into a room, if he's with 3 or 4 people, he needs to make sure those 3 or 4 people are good, because if someone walks in the room and they're like, oh, who's that guy you're with, he's like weird, he doesn't want that happening. So he's like, I'm good, I need the people around me to be good, because someone might be like, what's wrong with your dude over there?
exactly.
So it kind of brought me back to that about energy, and not only energy within yourself, but energy with the people that you associate yourself with.
Exactly. Like
Because you can,
I love my crew because anybody who knows us, it's me, Lenny Harold, Authentic, KT,
yeah.
Corey, anyone that's around us, it's infectious laughter. So
Hmm.
whenever we get around each other, that's all we do is crack up, we sing, we crack jokes. It's
Yeah.
just a fun time. So when people see us, they gravitate towards us because they want to be a part of that energy as well.
Yeah.
You know how some people they have to be the life of the party, and in order to be the life of the party, they have to drink.
Yeah.
We don't even need that. Like ours is just there naturally. So whenever people come around, that's all we do is just crack up.
Yeah.
And it's worked for us on the business level too.
I think that's so important because laughter will get you through. It will get you through your studio sessions. It gets you through the day-to-day things. Like laughter is so important, and I love that you bring such positive energy to the people that work with you, and you just make it fun. Like it's just
Yeah.
like, hey, we're just having a good time.
Yeah. Because if you don't like what you do, then don't do it.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
really simple.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
you just have to like lean into it and just like crack a joke. It's not that
Yeah,
serious.
definitely.
So, A Natural, this is the point of the show where you are going to perform for us. So, take it away.
All right. Um, so I was gonna switch it up a little bit, because I have not performed any of the songs from my Ascension project as much as I wanted to, because once
Uh-huh.
the album came out, Rona came in and shut everything down. So I never got a
Yeah.
chance to really show what these songs can do live. So I'm
Hmm.
going to start with a song from the Ascension of A Natural. The name of this song is called Down Like Forever. Let's make sure I have sound. Yes. And if you guys can hear me, just throw some hearts up or make a comment if you like what you hear. Oh, na, na, na. Baby, you so on fire. You are what I desire. With you, I never get tired. Oh, na, na, na. Loving energy. Got me down on my knees. Willing and ready to please. I ain't going nowhere. My heart is yours. Can you love me until the end of time? I'm yours and you are mine. Hey. Never been so sure of anything in mind. I give you my life. Oh, na, na, na. You got under my skin. Wasn't hard to let you in. Look at your melanin. Oh, na, 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 na. Shine bright just like the sun. Your name all on my tongue. I know that you're the one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I ain't going nowhere, yeah. Oh, my heart is yours. Whoa, whoa. Down like forever. Never is so sure. Whoa, whoa. Down like forever. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Down like forever. Yeah. I ain't going nowhere. Oh, baby, can you love me until the end of time? I know. Never been so sure of anything mine. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, yeah. Down like forever. Oh, hey. Yeah. Down like forever. Yeah, yeah. Down like forever and ever. That's down like forever.
Yeah. Guys, give it up.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Kerwin.
much.
Hi, Dan, Colette, Lenny's in here. Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
They like that one. Do I and then one more, right?
You have one more? Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, I'm going to do something from KWAMÉ. KWAMÉ is a project that I put out in October. It was the unexpected project that I did during quarantine. My most personal project to date, where I reveal a lot of truth about myself and my history and my relationships, and it really spoke to a lot of people. So I'm really grateful for the love that this project got. And I'm going to do No Pressure, if I can find it. Yes, here we go. Thank you, Colette. Strong heart with a soft mind. Wonder why you worry about what lesser people think. Head lifted with closed eyes. I wish you could see you're more than what you really think. You could simply walk by. Out of body, my spirit wants to mingle with yours and never tell you goodbye. Won't you rest a moment? Take a chance to see all of the colors that you missed. Blues and greens, my favorite. I'm sure that they can mix with yours the perfect compliment, and we don't have to touch it. I'm content with only looking deep into your soul, cause that is where your love lies. Yeah. No pressure, no pressure, no pressure, baby. We can take it easily. Your timing, yeah. No pressure, yeah. What a beautiful black light. You work hard for others when the fight is at your door. Forgive me for my eyes. I've never seen a king mixing with their subjects unknown. Give thanks to the Most High. He was in his bag when he sent you to our shores. I'm only here to publicize. Baby, no pressure comes from me. No pressure, baby, yeah. We can take it easily, yeah. No pressure, baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, and make you feel away. Baby, no pressure, yeah. Liberate, elevate, oh yeah, yeah. Oh, baby, no pressure, yeah, yeah. Celebrate, levitate, make you feel away, yeah. Baby, no pressure, yeah. Liberate, elevate, oh yeah. Oh baby, no pressure. And when it's all said and done, and you still feel raw about it, I'll be waiting. Ooh, that's no pressure.
Yes, no pressure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Chat was blowing up. Thank you guys all
Nice.
for your comments. All of it. We appreciate it.
Yes.
And if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat below and we will get to them.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah. What advice do you have for musicians during quarantine?
Ooh. The first thing that I would say is do not feel like you have to work.
Mm-hmm.
I know that for me, I'm always in front of a computer, so it's always kind of like, work is just natural for me. But I also know that people felt pressure that they had to be creative. They had to come up with something to pass the time.
Yeah.
This whole pandemic has done a number on all of our psyches. So don't feel pressured. No pressure. Don't feel pressured to have to create. Do it in your own time. If you're an indie artist, you can do whatever you want whenever you want. So there really is no pressure. So don't feel pressed. Yeah, that's what I would say.
No pressure, and take that time for self-care, because sometimes you're creating, but then other times you're just chilling. You're like,
yes. Oh my God, and that's something that I told myself to do this year.
what?
Last year I was horrible with self-care because I was working so much. This year I'm making it a point to take better care of myself. My best friends got me a spa kit that I did first thing, for Christmas. I did it first week of the year. Started doing a workout regimen for 31 days. Did a 31-day challenge with my best friend. We're on day 28 of 31 days. So I'm very, very proud of myself.
How are you feeling now that you've worked out 28 days?
I feel good. My arms are like rubber. It's like push-ups and, just little cardio type things or whatever. So I feel
Right.
much better. I have way more energy during the day now. That's the one major change that I've seen.
Right.
So it's that's my new mindset now for this year is even while I'm doing more work, I have to take care of me.
Exactly.
Because I'm no good to anybody dead.
Yes. No,
Yeah,
self-care is so important. Whatever self-care means, sometimes it's nap, sometimes it's eating a certain way,
exactly. That's part two.
whatever it may be, like
Hmm.
lean into that because self-care is so important, especially at a time like this where there's so much uncertainty and craziness all around us.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Where do you want to perform next?
Here. I mean, I would love. I mean, as soon as outside opens up and it's safe,
Yeah.
I'm at all the open mics. I will be creating my own venues. Like, I
Yeah.
just need to get back on stage. But for right now, I'm content with doing it virtually. It's comfortable, but I definitely want to just keep. I don't want to sit on my craft. I don't want to lose that momentum. So I'm going to keep doing it here until I don't have to do it here anymore, and then I can go out somewhere else and do it.
Totally. Do you have any live streams coming up in the next few months?
Um, Not for me performing,
Mm-hmm.
but my podcast with my best friend Lenny Harold is starting back up in
Nice.
March. So Tired Tuesdays is coming back on a new platform, much flashier, much more streamlined. We've got a lot of great stuff in store. So, and on that platform, I will be doing some singing. So that's part
Nice.
of it. Yeah.
Check it out so you can hear more of A Natural's music.
Yes.
Where's the next place you want to go?
The next place I want to go, um, I need to be at the beach somewhere. I need to be by somebody's beach. I don't know if you guys can hear, but the wind is atrocious by my house right now. It's blowing the house
Hmm.
down.
Oh my.
Um, the freezing cold, I'm not here for it. It's way too cold. So I
Yeah.
definitely need to be on someone's beach, drinking someone's drink, and just hanging out. Like that's where I want to go.
I'm ready for sun and warmth too because it is
Yes.
cold. And you know what? Daylight savings time is going to be here in a couple weeks. We're going to have
Ugh,
more sunlight. And then after that, it's springtime.
I can't wait. I cannot wait.
I know. And then we can kind of go outside the house and not be cold,
Exactly. Exactly.
right?
Plus, I think COVID numbers went down really low over the summer, so we can get that happening again.
I
And
hope so.
then, yeah, I'll be back out in the streets.
Do you like working alone or working with other musicians?
I like both. Nobody really ever gets to see my process. So when I work alone, I usually keep it that way.
Yeah.
But I definitely love building with other artists. I am a vocal producer at heart. So I love constructing harmonies and giving tips on how to do riffs and all that kind of stuff. So I love doing that with other artists.
Awesome. Good
Yeah.
stuff. Does anyone have any other final questions for A Natural? In the meantime, tell everybody in the chat where they can find you on all social media platforms.
So everywhere is A Natural Forever, the same way that it's spelled on the pinned comment right here. Um, But if you go to my website, you'll get to see everything that I have online. All my social media is connected to that. Um, and then, the live concert that I did in the summer,
Mm-hmm.
well, in October actually, is online on my website now. You can stream it right there from the site.
Mm-hmm.
You can also get my merchandise from there as well. So everything is at anaturalforever.com.
Awesome. Good
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So, how can people that are watching this chat right now, how can they support you as an artist?
Tell a friend. Tell a friend. I mean, buying the music and streaming the music is great,
Mm-hmm.
but I think telling a friend that Natural City Music exists, that's the label, that's the brand, that's the imprint.
Yeah.
When that grows, I grow. So as much as you like me, then tell a friend, and hopefully they'll like me too.
Mm-hmm.
But let me know that you told them. I want to hear back. I would love to hear back from my fans.
Definitely. Where do you see your career in 5 years?
In 5 years, I think I'll probably still be doing what I'm doing now. Not
Mm-hmm.
my day job. That's done.
Yeah. Like,
But
I'm over it.
yeah, but I think I definitely will still be doing consulting, and I'll still be working with artists, on the label.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Preferably, I'll still be working with Huddle Music with the new platform, and then just continuing to build this platform for artists. That's what I want to do, That's what I want to keep doing, and that's what I want to die doing.
I love it. Very cool. Well, it doesn't look like we have any more questions in the chat, but thank you for performing, sharing your story. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This chat is going off. People love you. It's been a pleasure. Do you have any final words for the Vibin with Ashley Live crew?
Yeah, thank you for having me again. I know we did this last year, but it's definitely wonderful that we're doing it again. And also just look out for everything that I have coming. Really quickly, I do have to send a rest in peace to Cecily Tyson. It was reported right before we got on tonight that she passed away. 96 years of a legacy that is unmatched. So rest in peace to her. We love her. But other than that, I'm grateful to be here, and I can't wait for you guys to see what's coming up next.
Yes, thank you so much, A Natural. It has been a pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you for spending your Thursday night with us, sharing your music and all these wonderful announcements with my fan base. I truly, truly appreciate it. Guys, if you don't already, please make sure to follow A Natural on all social media platforms. And if you don't already, please make sure to follow me, Ashley Live. It's my show, Vibin with Ashley Live. I give you great musicians just like A Natural all the time. So many more phenomenal musicians to come. And please make sure to continue to follow along with my journey as well as A Natural's journey.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Stay safe. Have a great night. And
you too.
See you soon.
All righty. Thank you. Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.